Welcome back. The next control statement is for loop. Python's for loop syntax is a more convenient alternative to a while loop when iterating through a series of elements. The for loop syntax can be used on any type of iterable structure such as list, tuple, string, set, dictionary, or file. Syntax or general format for loop is for element in iterable body. For example, see, I have a list as number equals to, I'm giving some numbers. I can write it as for I in numbers, print I. So all the numbers of list will get printed one after the another. Next is a range keyword in for loop. The range function returns a sequence of numbers starting from 0 by default and increments by 1 by default and ends at specified number. For example, for n in range 3, 6, print n, or I can write it as x equals to range 3, 6 and for n in x print n. It will give me same output. Generating series of number, I'm taking input from the user, enter the number, and I'm storing it in variable n. I'm iterating by using for loop for I in range 0 to n, print I. So always remember your range function goes one number or one value less of the highest limit. Okay, so that means if you give 0 to n, it will go from 0 to n minus 1. So if user enters 4, it will give output as 0, 1, 2, 3. It will not print 4. Next is else statement in loop. Else can be used in for loop and while loops. The else body will be executed as and when the loop condition expression evaluates to false. So in Python you can also write else in for loop. For example, for I in range 0, 5, print I. After the for loop get terminated, the else body will get executed. So I'm writing in else as finally else for executed. So by printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, my loop will get terminated and the final else clause will get executed. Here are some for loop programs you can try for your practice. Next topic is branching or jumping statement. Python has two unconditional branching statements, that is break statement and continue statement. Break statement can be used to unconditionally jump out of the loop. It terminates the execution of the loop. Break can be used in while loop and for loop. Break is mostly required when because of some external condition we need to exit from the loop. For example, see, we have y equals to 5. I am taking a for loop as for I in range 0 to y plus 1. That means it will go till from 0 to 5. If I equals to y, when my I will be equals to y, when my I will reach to 5. So I am writing print thank you and I am using break. That means my loop will come out. Okay, so the output is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. As soon as it becomes 5, it will print thank you and I'm using break. So my for loop will not execute anymore. I will come out of the loop, okay, and it will print end of the program. Why? Because I'm writing it out of the loop, not in else also. I'm writing it out of the loop, so my loop will not get continue further. Next is continue statement. The continue statement in Python returns the control to the beginning of while loop. The continue statement rejects all the remaining statements in the current iteration of the loop and moves the control back to the top of the loop. The continue statement can be used in both while and for loop. For example, see, in continue only if the condition satisfied, and we write continue only that block of statement or that iteration will get skipped and my control will again come back to the for loop. Okay, that means I'm not breaking the whole loop and I'm not coming out of the loop, I'm just skipping one iteration of the loop. For example, see, for I in range 0 comma 5, if I equals to 2, continue, print I. So that means when I will become 2, I'm writing continue. So if I'm writing continue, the loop will get terminated for only that condition, okay, and the control will return back to the starting of the loop. So while printing, it will print 0 1, it will not print 2. Why? Because I'm writing if I equals to 2, continue, that means skip that iteration. So it is going to skip that iteration and it will print 0 1 3 4. When I value becomes 2, the print statement gets skipped. Continue statement goes for the next iteration, hence in the output 2 is not printed. Next is pass statement. The pass statement in Python is used when a statement is required syntactically, but you do not want any commands or code to execute. The pass statement is a null operation. Nothing happens when it executes. The pass is also useful in places where your code will eventually go but has not been written yet. For example, see, for I in range 0, 10, pass, and I'm printing goodbye. That means my loop is not executing. I'm not going inside the loop. I am passing it, so my loop will get skipped, and I'm writing goodbye. What is the difference between break and continue? In break, it terminates the execution of remaining iteration of the loop. So while break comes, it will not return control to the starting of the loop. It will break my all the iteration. It will skip all the remaining iteration. Continue terminates only the current iteration of the loop. Break resume the control of the program to the end of the loop in closing that break. So break will resume my control to the end of the program. It will skip whole loop. Continue resumes the control of the program to the next iteration of that loop in closing continue. So my continue will only skip the particular iteration. It will not terminate the whole block of the code. It causes early termination of loop. Continue causes early execution of the next iteration. Why? Because I am skipping one iteration. Break stops the continuation of loop. Continue do not stop the continuation of the loop. It only stops the current iteration.